On today's Gold is Where You Find It adventure, we're going to be using a sluice box to get some gold instead of a pan, or actually we're going to be using both. So if that interests you, stick around, smash the like button, and let's get to it. Now the first 3 rules of using a sluice box is test, test, and test again, because you don't want to waste a bunch of time running material that doesn't have any gold in it. So you're much more likely to have success if you know what's in the material running before you start running it.
Just cousin it.
Cousin it. My wife is cousin it.
Look at it.
Alright, so I'm thinking this is where the gold's going to be, and it's time to do a test pan. Water is a little chilly.
The temperature outside is a little chilly. I should have brought my thermometer, my water thermometer.
I mean, the air's comfortable to me, but the water's chilly.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my pool thermometer when we start coming.
Yeah.
So we can put it in the water and see the water.
Show people the water temperature.
Yeah.
Because we prospect in the winter time, so it don't matter if the river's icing over or not. I'm still out here having some fun getting gold. So let's see here.
I see the ducks.
Is there gold?
Yeah.
My wife says yes. Okay, there's 1, 2 colors at least. 3 colors. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors, but 4 of them are absolute micro specks. I want to do one more test pan before I run a bucket. All right, so we took our first pan from right there, and I decided to move that big granite boulder that was right there. So let's take our second test pan from right there. So the second test pan had absolutely no gold in it at all. So we tested once. We tested twice, it didn't work out, so let's test a third time and hopefully we can get some material to run. So I've already worked this exact spot and it was really good. And as we usually do, we fill in our holes, and it's mostly filled in with big rocks. So it's just gonna take me a second to pull these big rocks. Ooh, I got a real heavy one here. But I'm gonna pull these out of here. Oh, that's a monster. Access some of this good material. Woo. All right. There we go. Let's get some of that good stuff. Okay, now this is more like it. I already knew there was gold in that hole, and pretty sure I didn't get it all. And there you go. We got 2 decent flakes, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors at least. So let's fill up a bucket. Today I'm using a 1/4 inch screen sitting on top of a 5-gallon bucket. You want to find a nice level spot for your 5-gallon bucket because it makes it way easier to classify when your bucket kind of stays still. And I'm just going to start filling this thing up. Now these classifiers like this with the handles in them are super handy because they sit below the water level. It makes it really quick and easy to classify. That should do it. We got a nice full bucket. Let's set up the sluice. Okay, when you're going to set up a sluice box, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a lot of flow, which we definitely have here, and then you need a little bit of elevation drop. And so with legs, you can kind of artificially achieve that. Sometimes you have to build a dam to make that happen. But let's try a couple areas around here and see what we can get going. No, I think I want to run it a little bit hotter than that. Let's try a different spot.
Right next to me. Right there.
All right, Caleb wants me to try next to her. Let's give this another shot. This just doesn't seem like I'm going to have enough elevation drop and enough flow right there. Although I could probably find a way to make it work. We got some other areas over here. So let me go on over there, see what I can figure out. Okay, I got it set up pretty good right now. I got just a little bit of elevation drop there. I kind of put it on top of these rocks here. Use the legs to adjust the height just a little bit to where you see that V shape there is pretty much in the middle. And that means your flow is pretty even coming in on both sides. And the water's not too deep, not too shallow. This is about exactly how I like to run my sluice right here. You always want to make sure you don't see any bubbles down in the holes. I don't see any bubbles, but if there's bubbles, it'll prevent the heavy stuff from sinking. And the way a sluice box works is it uses the power of water to sort things by density. So the most dense things are going to sink down into the riffles or the cells or whatever type your mat you're using. And so your gold, which is 19 times more dense than water, is going to be at the very bottom. Right above that is going to be your black sands, which is about between 4 and 5 times more dense than water. And all the other stuff like clay and quartz and shale should just rinse right off at the top. So to find out if this thing's working the way I want it to or not, let's go ahead and put some material in it like that. And that's looking pretty perfect right there. That's looking pretty perfect. I like that. You can already see the material in these cells is darker colored because it's filling up with black sand. This particular type of sluice matting is called green mat. And this one is the combo mat. So it's got 3 different size cells in it. The micro, and then whatever these 2 are called that are a little bit bigger. But it kind of has a vortex action that it creates and shoots the material down into those holes. So it's a little bit different than a traditional sluice box riffle, but it definitely works. You don't want to feed too much because you don't want a bunch of material to just be stuck up here, and that prevents the riffles from doing their job. So you want the material to wash completely out at a decent pace, kind of like this. Not too fast, but enough for the mat to do its job. Now definitely take some practice getting these set up right, so I'm going to insert a clip right here of my first time ever trying to use a sluice box.
Whoa, actually, this right here should not be building up right here. Is it going to free itself up? There's a pool pipe. Look at this. I must not have it level. But down there, I mean, it seems alright. It's right here. I don't have a flow. Okay, something's wrong with my flow. That side's clean, this side's not. Let me see what I can do. So I got some problems here. I'm really having trouble.
Alright, we're ready to pull it. So let's fill this thing all the way up with water. We're gonna pull it straight up, like this. We didn't lose any material, and I'm gonna tilt it up right into the bucket. And this mat's real easy, it'll just pull straight out of there. And you see how there's some material right there? That could have some gold in it too, so go ahead and clean it up like that. Take this over to the bank and see what we got. Okay. Now to clean out the mat. These rubber mats like the Dream Mat and Gold Hog are pretty easy. You just kind of reverse roll them like this and shake them out. And they're clean. It's that simple. When you take your material here, I would typically recommend that you do this part at home and spend your time at the creek digging, because why not? But for the sake of the video, we're going to take a look and see what this one bucket had in it. So what we just did is take an entire 5-gallon bucket of material and reduce it down to just that. So that's our concentrates from the bucket that we ran. It's going to have a lot of black sand in it, hopefully some gold. I'm panning into a catch pan because I'm going to take these home and clean them up a little bit more carefully, along with whatever cons I get from the day. I still got a lot of black sand in there, but I use this method right here. Tap the gold all over to one side so we can just take a peek at how we did. Oh, there's a decent amount. Oh, that's a good bucket, you guys. Oh, that's a really good bucket. Oh yeah, that's definitely a good bucket. Let's take a look here. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks nice. Let's zoom in on that stuff because that's beautiful. We're at 3x. Let's go in a little bit more. How's that? 5x. 5x magnification. They all look like nuggets when you're zoomed in. But we're dealing with glacial gold here. That one's really iron stained. And these aren't small pieces of glacial gold, and this is a decent amount. That's maximum zoom right there. But that's some pretty looking gold. We'll go back out to 1x. There you go. That's no zoom. Here's my index finger for a size reference. And we got some decent gold in there. I decided that before I head home, I would go ahead and do a few more pans. And I just got a pretty amazing pan out of that same hole. So check this out. There we go right there. That's one pan. And that's a lot of pieces of gold for one pan. And we're talking, this is my 15-inch pan, not my 17-inch pan. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 colors. Oh yeah. 5 of these Garrett Super Sluice gold pans is equal to one 5-gallon bucket. So we're going to go ahead and do one more pan, and we're going to make it an even 2 buckets for the day. And that last pan came from right there in the top foot. So let's take another pan from right there and call it a day. Now if you're really practiced at speed panning or production panning like I am, sluicing doesn't even really save you any time. It's actually just as fast or even faster just to use a pan and process the same amount of material. And I actually did a video on that. And so I'll go ahead and put a card at the top for that. So this is the last pan of the day right here. So we are going to see what it contains. So I was hoping the last pan of the day would be as good as the previous pan, but it looks like we only got 2 colors that time. But look at that garnet. The color of that garnet is just, it's beautiful. We got 2 more pieces of gold in the snuffer, but that's a gem right there. All right, that's gonna do it for today's adventure at the creek. So let's head back to the house. I got the gold in the snuffer bottle. We're gonna dry it out, weigh it up, see if it moves the scale. All right, we got that gold all cleaned up from those 2 5-gallon buckets right there. And that's some nice looking gold. And here is maximum zoom, 10x magnification. That's pretty nice. .016 grams of gold. That's nice. Also, please check out the rest of my channel. I have got a lot of videos on there that you might find interesting. So subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and leave a comment. Consider joining to become a member. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.